Okay, I just want to talk about the Eagles. My 2009 expectations for them, and a Week 1 preview against the Carolina Panthers. Um, yeah, football season's finally here. I love to talk football. I love reading blogs, listening to the sports radio talks about football. But there's just a point where you just hear the same stuff over and over again. You kind of get sick of it, and you just get sick of it because you're so hungry to play that first game. And in a matter of it's about 2:30 a.m. now. Can't wait 11 hours till we start playing football again. Meaningful football for the first time since last year's national championship game. It sucked, especially since I was there attending it. But you know what? Life goes on. You get over it, and you move on to the next season. And I'm pumped up, and I'm excited for this season. Now, my expectation for the Eagles this year is to win the Super Bowl. It may sound blunt, it may sound negative, but as an Eagles fan, and I think, I could speak for many Eagle fans, we waited, and still are waiting, for the Super Bowl. We are. So, every year, if it's not a Super Bowl, it's a disappointing year. No matter what way you put it. It's a disappointment as an Eagles fan if we don't win the Super Bowl. So that is the expectation every year. Win the Super Bowl. And it's a Super Bowl or disappointment. As simple as that. I want a Super Bowl so badly. And I'm only 18. And look at all these other diehard Eagles fans. Man, they need a Super Bowl, man. I want these guys to get a Super Bowl, especially maybe the Eagle fans that may be somewhat older, maybe in their 70s or 80s, and are still diehard Eagles fans. I want to see them get a Super Bowl. That's my expectation. Now, to the questions this year for the '09 Eagles. I'll start with the defense. Yeah. Brian Dawkins, who basically started every single meaningful game from last year and back 13 years before that. You know, it's unbelievable. You go from Brian Dawkins starting our last meaningful game to a rookie in Macho Harris. Now, I'm shocked that Sean Jones, who I thought was going to win the job, and Quentin Dempsey couldn't beat him out. But Macho Harris proved to be better. But he is still a rookie. Now, I don't necessarily have great confidence in him, but if Macho Harris has confidence in himself, and it's good confidence, that's all that matters, no matter what I say or any Eagle fan says. That's all that matters. Now, he's going to make some mistakes, but I just hope he learns from his mistakes, and hopefully he'll develop into the regular starting safety. Maybe not, and maybe not like Brian Dawkins. Maybe not like it was with Brian Dawkins and as a meaningful leader, but just that regular starter that you know you can depend on, that won't fall apart in big situations. Hopefully over the long term, that's what it develops into. That's what I hope for him, that he takes advantage of the chance he gets to start and keeps that starting job, not only for this year, but the next year and the year after that. Every year he spends with this team, I hope he gets that starting job. I do not want him to suck. So, I guess I wish all the best for Macho Harris. Now, the next thing is Sean McDermott. You're replacing Jim Johnson. He was on the sidelines, so he is prepared. But it's a whole nother situation, a whole nother job. And I just have questions with that, of how good he's going to be doing with that. And, losing Stuart Bradley for the year, that hurts too. That really hurts. Really hurts. Omar Gaither, um, will be on the defensive line tomorrow. Now, he's not a great player, but he doesn't suck. But he hasn't really. He's been okay. He's been okay. He had some nice moments, some good plays that he's made that you give him credit for. But he's never shown um, that he's a great player. Yeah, but this is his chance. Now, for the offense, our O-line's banged up. And who do you have? You have Jason Peters, Nick Cole, Sean Andrews is out, and that's a big question. And so is Todd Herremans. But for tomorrow, you have Jason Peters and Winston Justice and Nick Cole. Believe that makes up part of the offensive line. Man, that's a lot of questions right there. It really is. I just don't think tomorrow's game will give us that great running opportunities with the banged up offensive line that we have, and just the players, just the injuries this offseason has killed us. It really has. It's hard to keep track anymore with all these injuries that we have. But I think the biggest thing is for the offense, McNabb's got to stay healthy. He's got to stay healthy. And Leonard Weaver and Aldrin Buckley will probably be in tomorrow's game. And Shady McCoy. So I mean, I pray that the offense goes well. That's my main concern, is the offense, just with this offensive line. Because if you don't get McNabb protection, you're screwed. And real quickly on Michael Vick, and I'll bring it up later why I mention him now. I think he deserves a second chance. He did his time in jail. It was disgusting what he did. But hey, we brought him in to play football. And if he wins and he does a good job for us, that's all that we care. That's all that I care about. Now, Michael Vick, I mean, if McNabb starts to suck or he gets injured, everyone's going to be calling for Michael Vick. So I mean, I hope the world that McNabb just plays well. That's what I hope. Now my prediction for tomorrow's game against the Panthers. Just assessing it, including last year and the players they have. The player I fear most on the Panthers is Steve Smith. Now, I predict the Panthers. Unfortunately, if I made an emotionless and unbiased decision, I'd pick the Panthers to win by a very slim margin, probably around 3 points, 4 points maybe. I mean, I just think with the numerous questions and the banged up team that we have currently, I'm really questioning our team, and I think we have a very good team, but I just think Carolina will get the better of us tomorrow. If I had to, but that's just my realistic feeling. As if I were to throw a ton of money on the table and make a bet on this game, I'd take Carolina by 3. With that said, I have a ton of faith in my Eagles that they will get the job done and win the game in Carolina. I have a ton of faith in my Birds. I predicted a close game. Maybe I didn't predict the Birds on the outcome. To win. But I have a ton of faith in the Eagles that they will win this game. I love the Eagles. And I'm so glad it's NFL kickoff weekend. I've been waiting for it for months now, ever since January. And I'm pumped up for it. That's all I got. Go Birds. Beat the Panthers.